Wouldn't it be great if you had some sort of compass or guide that can help you make good decisions when it comes to what type of deals you should pursue and ones you shouldn't, whether it's business acquisitions or real estate? Guess what? That already exists. It's called your buy box. And when you're doing consulting for equity deals, since we're in a consulting for equity training video series, you need to understand exactly what type of deals that you should pursue and ones you shouldn't. And that's why we're going to talk about the buy box in this video.
Beyond your paycheck, it's surges of cash that you can use to grow your net worth and feed your investments.
Welcome back. It's Chris, the intentional investor, and we're talking about consulting for equity. This is a whole training series, so just in case you haven't seen the first 3 videos, this is video number 4. Go and watch those videos first, then come watch this video. The first video we talk about what is consulting for equity. Video number 2, we talk about why business owners would want to partner with you and what do business owners actually really want. That's really important to understand that. And number 3, very important video, talking about kind of the mindset and the real identity shift you have to have before you go after consulting for equity deals and kind of how to work through that. And now we're all the way to number 4, talking about the buy box. And just in case you haven't seen it, I do have a podcast. It's called Surges of Income Podcast, where I take people just like you and investors and entrepreneurs, business owners, marketers, and people pursuing real estate and business acquisitions. And I mentor them live, completely off the cuff, and help them get towards their dreams of earning surges of income. And just a reminder, surges of income is money all at one time, much faster, completely separate from your monthly recurring income that you have that pays your bills, that's getting hit in the mouth by inflation and cost of living increases. But this surges of income can go directly towards building your net worth, building passive revenue streams, so you don't have to work forever. Rather than just trying to make more money every single month or every single year, instead it's about how much money are you worth? What is your net worth? And taking surges of income and growing your net worth large amounts constantly. That's exactly what my mission is, and to help you do the same. So quick reminder, if you haven't seen the podcast, I'd love to have you watch and subscribe to my podcast. I do a lot of really cool stuff on that, and a lot of revelation comes from those podcasts. I'm really able to help people. And if you're interested in being on my podcast, maybe you're an entrepreneur, an investor, pursuing business acquisitions, or if you want to talk about consulting for equity, you can definitely do that. Go click this link, check out my podcast, comment, let me know if you want to be one of my guests. Okay, consulting for equity, content series, video number 4, establishing your buy box. And like I said earlier, your buy box is your guide, it's your compass. It's what's telling you what would have to be true for you to be interested in pursuing a deal. And you have to start developing your buy box based off your past experiences, what you like, what you don't like, the type of people you enjoy to work with, people you don't like to work with, and just kind of what would have to be true in a perfect scenario for you to be able to just completely knock it out of the park for a business owner. And specifically, we're talking about business acquisitions and consulting for equity deals. But a buy box in real estate has to be 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, fenced in backyard, larger than 2,200 square feet, and it has to have a 2-car garage. Like if you're a residential investor and you're buying houses for buy and hold and rentals, like me, that's my buy box for the properties I like to buy. And there's a very specific reason why it's got to be 2,000 or 2,200 square feet, why I want a 2-car garage, why I want a fenced-in backyard, why I want at least 4 bedrooms, because it's the buy box that I've established based off all my experience and how easy it is to rent properties, how long people stay, they don't feel cramped, they feel like they have a place for their stuff, and a lot of my renters have dogs. That's why I developed that buy box. So for consulting for equity deals, you have to take all your unique background, your experiences, what you like and what you don't like, and use that to develop your buy box. So let's start with mine. My buy box for business acquisitions, and specifically consulting for equity, is what I call the Fab 5. High ticket, high margin, nationwide to worldwide audience, extremely easy to target customers, and they have to feel like they would have paid 10 times more than what they paid based off how much value and how satisfied they are after the purchase. For me, that's very, very intentional. High ticket, high margin. I don't like to work with businesses that have a high cost of goods sold or variable cost margins. I like to work with businesses that sell high ticket, really $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 and above per transaction, and that are mostly profit, right? Something that doesn't have a cost of goods sold. So I love digital products, I love online businesses, I love service businesses that aren't actually selling a physical product, because more often than not, There's a lot more profit for me to take home. And then I love the high ticket because a lot fewer transactions to take place to get a large amount of revenue compared to selling something that's $10 or $100. You have to have a lot of transactions to reach that same number, and the profit margins are a lot lower most of the time. That's how I develop my buy box. The third thing is extremely easy to target, and fourth thing, nationwide or worldwide audience. I've marketed in just about every A, B, and C market, and that's population size in the US with micro budgets, and I've realized that I like to work with businesses that are really serving a nationwide or a worldwide audience because I could have 40, 50, 100 million perfect customers, and it's so much cheaper to run paid traffic to. It's so much easier to get in front of those people, more cost effective, and I have so many opportunities there compared to working with somebody when there's only 6,000 perfect customers in the entire world. It can be very expensive to reach those customers, very difficult, and that raises all of your costs, your cost per acquisition, your cost per lead, cost per 1,000 impressions when you're buying traffic. And from my experiences, I developed that I don't want to work harder, I want to work smarter. So I only like to work with businesses that are service-based, high ticket, high margin, really easy to target, and there's a huge audience for me to choose from because it's nationwide or worldwide. And that's what I like specifically. And then being a man of integrity, I like to sleep at night. I like to know what I sell and what we're doing, what we're providing is of extreme value. And I don't want to have to worry about chargebacks and people asking for refunds all the time. So for me, I like to make sure people said, man, I would have paid 10 times more than that. That was amazing. After they do business with any of the companies I'm a part of. So that's my Fab 5. So I challenge you to think about that, right? When you're developing your buy box, you go back and look at your experiences. What businesses have you worked in? What type of sales environments have there been? What type of customers have you served? And think about if you could go back with all the knowledge, wisdom, and experience you have today, 5 to 10 years ago, what would you have done different? You get to choose here. This isn't like you take what you're given. You get to choose what you're doing here. You get to choose what type of consulting for equity deals and what type of business owners that you are going to pursue and that you're going to talk to. In the next video, I'll talk about how to find people who are not just open-minded the idea of doing consulting for equity deals and having you as a partner, but also what type of businesses those may be. So I want you to think about that when you do your buy box. If you want to learn more about my buy box and kind of how I developed it beyond what I just told you, you can click here, and I have a video specifically where I discuss my buy box and told you all about it. So go watch that. But now back to you. I want you to think about this one question. What would have to be true for me to be interested in partnering with a business owner? What would have to be true for that? How much money would it take monthly to really allow me to pursue this and work with just one business for now? How much equity would it take, kind of based off where you are at in your life and in your professional career, to make it worth your while? Think about what would have to be true for you to absolutely knock it out of the park. Because remember, we're going to only do this with integrity. We're only going to partner with people when we know we can undoubtedly solve their problem, take their business to the next level, help them relieve stress, help give someone their time back, take them past their plateau, lean them up and make them more profitable, add more revenue. What would have to be true? Think about your skill sets, what you're capable of doing, and let that develop your buy box. I want you to also think about what businesses that you hate to work with. People that you've worked with in the past, and you're like, wow, I will never work with a business owner that does X, Y, and Z ever again. I will never work with a business that serves this customer. That was not fun. I don't want to do it again. Take all those experiences and put this into this exercise. I also want you to think about the people and the type of businesses that you love to work with. Say you've been in marketing for a long time, maybe a freelancer, maybe a consultant. You're going to have lists for days and days. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's people you love and there's people you don't. Just like when you were in school, you had teachers that you hated and you had teachers that you loved. You get to choose here. You get to choose who you develop. You get to choose who you want to work with. I also want to encourage you to think about, what can I do in this type of scenario that would make it feel very natural, where I could actually keep doing what I'm doing. I could run my other business, or I can keep my job and also do this. Maybe if this business can't afford to pay me enough for me to completely pivot. That feels real natural. It's plugging in and doing the same thing that you're already doing, but doing it in another business as well. I'll tell you, people ask me all the time, Chris, you have so many businesses. How do you not just thrash and multitask all the time and feel like you're always shifting gears and changing hats? And the secret is this. You ready? Secret? I don't thrash at all. I do the same thing in every company. It's very natural, because when I'm doing business growth strategy and I'm leading leaders, whether I'm doing it in company A, company B, or company C, it's the exact same thing. Whether I wake up in the morning and I'm training salespeople all day long, which is what I often do, whether it's across 4 different businesses, I'm training every one of them on the same concepts. They're just selling something different, right? So do something that feels natural, something that's already your strength, something that's already your God-given talent, and it doesn't feel like you're going to be thrashing. You're not having to take one hat on and put on another one over here and do problem solving, operations, financials, taxes, sales. Like, no, do what you're good at and make sure that the arrangement that you create with this Consulting for Equity partnership allows you to play your strengths and really shine. You're gonna get tempted once you get good at this concept to start working with a lot of people. And if you're really, really good at what you do and you become a magnet, which we'll talk about in another video, people are gonna wanna work with you all the time. So I'll tell you, of the people who come to me and offer me equity or talk to me about working with them at some capacity, I say no a lot. I say no a lot. Sometimes because I know, number one, every time I say yes, I have all these other partners that I could potentially be letting down because I'm having to divert attention away from something over to this new opportunity. The other reason I say no quite often is because I don't like to work with underdeveloped businesses. Businesses that are too small, businesses that are maybe too young, that don't have developed processes and systems, where if I have to come in and build the business and build the infrastructure, it's gonna take away from what I want to do. I wanna be able to go and plug in my resources, my systems, my processes, and my strategy to blow the business up. I don't want to go have to work backwards and develop the business. Instead, I only work with businesses that are already developed. Another thing you got to be careful about is don't work with businesses and business owners that are in extreme distress, because reviving a business is very different than growing a business. Okay. Caveat, if that's what you do and you're a turnaround person and you can go in and revive a business and you feel like that's your calling, then by all means. But for me, I don't want to go revive something. I want to go throw gasoline on the fire and make it burn brighter, not try to start the fire from scratch or try to relight the fire that's already gone out. And the last thing when you're talking about your buy box and you're developing your buy box is to think about what type of business owner mindset needs to be there for them to be open to this kind of conversation. When you go and you talk to somebody who's never had a partner before in their life, they're 100% paranoid, or they've had bad partnerships in the past and they feel like everyone's out to screw them, that's not going to be necessarily the best person for you to work with. Instead, I'm going to teach you in a further video how to go and find business owners who are already of the right mindset, who are open to collaboration, who are looking for help, who are needing help, and who are looking to find people who are smart and fill in gaps for their business that they can't fill in themselves. So you may be watching these 4 videos so far and you're like, whoa, this is exactly what I was looking for. Consulting for Equity is absolutely going to be my jam. I want to do this. I want to offer this to you if you'd like. We do have a Consulting for Equity training bundle where it's a little bit more formal, and I'll put the link in the description where you can go and kind of dive a lot deeper with us at Dealmaker Wealth Society. My business partner, Carl Allen, is the business buying expert really of the world, the #1 business buying coach. And he teaches leverage buyouts at every single level. And we do teach a lot about Consulting for Equity, as well as I teach that almost exclusively. So I'd love to have you as one of our students. We also have a mentorship program. If you're interested in, just comment below in this video and we'll send you a direct message where we can hop on the phone and see if it's something that'd be a good fit for you. But Consulting for Equity, as you see so far, is very powerful. I've got a couple more videos where I'm going to teach you how to go and find these deals, what type of mindset the business owners need to be in, how to train people to offer you equity. It's very powerful. But I want you to remember that you have to do this integrity. Carl always says that he only wants to work with noble capitalists. We don't want to train people how to manipulate people and take advantage. So please do this with integrity. And remember, when you ask someone to be your partner, it's like putting a wedding ring on their finger in business. So make sure you're choosing the right people. And in one of the videos that we're going to have towards the tail end of this series, we're going to talk about when it's appropriate not to ask for equity, but you can still work with them for a nice sum of money, like a nice retainer fee, revenue share, profit share, but where maybe equity is not the right choice. So now you know all about buy boxes, how to establish yours, and hopefully you're going to go and sit down and really think about it and establish your buy box before you continue on to the next video. And if you're not quite ready for that, that's okay. Continue on with the series, get some more perspective, and I think that'll really add some clarity and vision to your Consulting for Equity journey if this is a path that you choose to take. But question for you right now, based off everything you've learned today in this video about establishing your buy box, learning about my buy box, tell me, what are you thinking about doing at this moment? Is this resonating with you? Is consulting for equity something that you can truly see yourself working towards in business acquisitions, acquiring equity in somebody else's company, really plugging in what you do? Tell me about your experiences in the past. Tell me about the type of things that you were answering these questions I was giving you. Tell me about the people you like to work with, people you hate to work with, and I'd love to have a chance to maybe be a part of your journey.